Looking for a place where faith breaks boundaries? Welcome to BIFR, Bullet in Flight Radio, an inclusive, progressive community of Christ followers, sharing real stories and bold ideas. This is your radio for hope, growth, and daring faith. Your story, our station. Tune in for new episodes every Friday and join believers who refuse to stay small. Visit https://www.just-dominic.com to listen and become part of the flight.
Believers, you've got to keep the faith and trust, knowing that you're more than conquerors because you believe me.
Believe in yourself, believe in me. Know that I am for you. Believe in yourself, believe in me. Know that I am for you. Believe in yourself, believe in me. Know that I am for you. Believe in yourself, believe in me. Know that I am. Folks always got something to say, love to criticize you in every way, instead of taking what's wrong out of their own eyes. They'd rather whisper and make fun than deny. Believe in yourself, believe in me. Know that I am for you. Believe in yourself, believer. Believe in me. Know that I am for you. Believe in yourself, believer. Believe in me. Know that I am for you. Believe in yourself, believer. Believe in me. Know that I am.
This song is all about belief and believing in oneself. Don't let anyone make you doubt yourself, for you are a new creature God created.
They spread little rumors, tell lies, little foxes destroy the vine. You feel so shake up, you wanna wake up, so stay on your knees. I'm begging you, please forgive your enemies. What's down in the dark will see the light. It will be alright. Believe in me, believe in yourself. Believe in me. Know that I am for you. Believe in yourself. Believe in me. Know that I am for you. Believe in yourself. Believe in me. Know that I am for you. Believe in me. Yeah. Yeah, believer. Believe in yourself. Believe in me. Know that I am for you. Believe in me. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, believer. Believe in me.
When you think of a person with depression, what you probably see in your mind is more of a stereotype or a caricature than a realistic image. You might think of somebody laying in bed crying, binge-watching shows, scrolling endlessly on social media, isolating from people, and avoiding work or school or whatever other responsibilities they have. And depression can look that way. In fact, it often does, but there are other presentations of depression that don't fit this stereotype at all. And today I want to bring your awareness to what I believe is the most misunderstood or just simply missed subtype of depression. And I'm talking about a group of people commonly referred to as individuals with high-functioning depression. The outward signs of high-functioning depression are very, very subtle. Typically, the only people who know how bad this person is struggling is the person themselves. They look fine on the outside, but they are suffering or even dying on the inside. I know that might sound dramatic, but that is truly what it feels like. These are people who, when they cannot mask their depression any longer and finally have their breakdown, whatever that looks like, whether that's not being able to function anymore or avoiding everybody or worst case scenario, dying by suicide, everyone around them says, I had no idea. I had no clue this person was struggling. I had no clue this person was suffering. It's a very important thing to understand. Today I'm going to review with you 8 signs that someone is struggling with high functioning depression. The first is that they are high achieving, but they feel very little emotion with regard to their accomplishments. So this is a person who has done a lot in life. They might have graduate degrees. They might have a lot of promotions at work. They might help a lot of people. They might make a lot of money. They might be very, very skilled at what they do, all of which makes other people look at them and think, well, that person's clearly not depressed because they are doing awesome. But they often hide it very well. This is probably more for like if this is you. But what you might notice about that person is that they don't ever really seem to experience much in the way of pride or accomplishment or joy or achievement. They just do the thing, and then they do the next thing, and then they do the next thing. And you don't see celebration, you don't see reward, you don't see appreciation, you maybe don't see much emotion at all. They just keep going. They just keep doing. That is because their reward system is disrupted. Some people, and I would count myself in this group of people, at least as an adult, I was not as an adolescent. Some people have the ability to continue functioning effectively for a very prolonged period of time in the absence of experiencing the emotion of reward. And that at its core is what depression is. It disrupts the reward pathway. It steals our ability to feel. It robs us of the link between our actions and the internal outcomes of our actions, which is that it feels good to do this stuff. So this is a person who is just trudging along. But they are doing it very skillfully because they found a way to detach their skill level and their achievement from their emotions, at least for longer than most people can. These people still cannot necessarily do it forever, and that's sometimes when the really scary outcome happens. The second sign of high functioning depression is the ability to quickly and easily disassemble any potential source of positivity in their own minds. This is almost an impressive, like, anti-superpower, where if anything good exists or happens in this person's life, they don't even do it on purpose or intentionally or consciously sometimes, but their brain will just take this stimuli coming from the outside that's like supposed to be really good or exciting or rewarding, and their brain will just take it apart and leave it as like just a pile of rubble on the ground so that it's nothing. So that like, yeah, you have a wonderful family at home who loves you. And it's like in a nanosecond, their brain's like, but any of us could die at any time, so it doesn't matter. It's like this extreme, pessimism isn't even the right word for it. It's more like this ultra nihilistic, but nihilism isn't inherently negative. It's nihilism taken to such an extreme that nothing matters. And what I think this is, I don't know that anybody could ever prove this is just my theory. What I think it is it's the logical mind reacting to the absence of emotion that we mentioned in the previous sign of high functioning depression, which is the absence of reward. This person's brain needs a reason to explain why I feel nothing from these good things happening. And so you break everything down to its most basic elements or essentials, and therefore you conclude, here's why this thing doesn't matter. Here's why this isn't actually good. Here's why this doesn't actually count for me. Here's why I don't need to feel anything from it. It's a pretty incredible ability. It's kind of like those people who can like disarm somebody and take their gun apart in 2 seconds. Only this one just makes your life worse, unfortunately. The third sign that somebody has high functioning depression is that they have at least one socially acceptable addiction. That might sound weird, but I'll explain. There are some addictions that are very stigmatized by our society. So that would be things like, drug abuse or gambling or things like these are things that if you see someone doing them excessively, you probably, if we're all being honest, have some judgmental thoughts towards that person, or at least think like, oh, that person is clearly doing something that hurts them. High-functioning, depressed people often find a way to channel their addiction into something that is rewarding in some way or another, like to the world in general. 2 of the most common ones I see are addiction to fitness and workaholism. So those are things, if you see someone just crushing it in the gym every day, you don't think of that person the same way that you think of someone who goes to the bar every day, probably, right? But sometimes it is the same underlying emotional problems driving each of those behaviors, which is I either don't want to or don't know how to deal with the problems I'm facing in life. So I'm just going to pour all of my energy into this thing and use this as my escape from everything else. Or workaholism again. someone who shoots to the top of their ladder in their field or in their place of employment, you don't necessarily look at that person. Most people don't look at that person and think, oh, that's an addict who is struggling with their emotions. But they often are. People use work to avoid dealing with other problems, to avoid dealing with loneliness, to avoid dealing with conflict at home, to avoid dealing with health problems, because they know I can just do this thing and people tell me I'm doing a good job and I make more money. So I'm just going to keep pouring all my time and energy into that, ignore everything else, and just hope it works out. And I'm not, again, I hope I'm not coming across as mean and judgmental here, because this is a pattern I have fallen into more than once in my own life. People with high functioning depression, anyone who struggles with any kind of mental illness, usually has at least one maladaptive coping mechanism that they use excessively, hence addiction. The people with high functioning depression have figured out, either on purpose or on accident, if I use this thing as my crutch, people don't get mad at me for it. In fact, people tell me I'm awesome because of this. So they figure that out and they repeat that behavior, and it keeps them flying under people's radar, not realizing how badly they are struggling. The fourth sign that somebody has high functioning depression is that they have decent relationships but feel chronically alone. So this is the person, they may be an introvert or an extrovert. I don't know that there's any relationship there, but this is the person who can enter a social gathering and function fine in that context. They know how to talk to people, they know how to blend in, they know how to be socially appropriate, but they don't feel connected to any of these people. They feel as if they are like an actor playing a role or a character in a TV show, and that they're just saying their lines. They don't feel a sense of actual deepened connection with the people that they interact with. So this is that person who can be alone in a crowd, so to speak. It's not that they feel physically alone, but they feel emotionally alone. Their heart does not feel connected to the hearts of other people. And typically this is because they have so much difficulty with vulnerability, because there's such a gap between how they actually feel and how the world views them. If everybody thinks that you are just getting up and crushing it every day, and in some ways you are, it's not even that those people are wrong, we really tend to take other people at face value though. And when you see somebody who's healthy and socially active and has a job and has a family and has a good education, you think that person is probably doing well emotionally. And many of them are, but that is not always true. There are people, I've worked with many of these people, who outwardly have everything, and inside they feel nothing. And if those people were to tell you that they're depressed, a lot of people, if we're being honest, a lot of people would not know how to respond to that. You might be skeptical, you might not believe them, you might have no idea what to say, compared to a person who, like, you already thought they were depressed, and then they tell you they're depressed. It's like, well, yeah, I could tell, no offense. You'd be shocked if this person opened up to you. And so that's why they don't typically open up to people, because they don't think anyone will understand. And so their heart remains alone. The fifth sign that somebody has high functioning depression is that they are driven by insecurity and inferiority rather than by achievement and accomplishment. So in general, there are two drivers to human behavior, or really the behavior of all mammals, either moving towards something positive or moving away from something negative. For most people, moving towards the positive is a more powerful driver of behavior. And so most people who are pursuing, again, I know I'm using these examples a lot, but they're examples that everyone relates to some degree. For people who are pursuing, advanced degrees or raises or promotions at work, usually it's like, I would feel good if I got this. Having more money would give me more comfort or more peace, or getting this degree would make me feel more confident in myself. It's like, I would feel better about who I am if I did this thing or had this thing. For the mind of someone with high functioning depression, the behavior might be the same, but the driver is the opposite. The person with high functioning depression thinks, I suck, I'm terrible, I'm worthless, I'm a loser, and I hate feeling like that, and I want to try to prove it wrong. Whereas a lot of people are like, I think I have more to offer the world than what my current situation allows. I think I'm underutilized. I think I'm underappreciated, and I want the world to see who I am. So I'm going to do something to prove that I am right. That's the core difference here. Trying to prove that you're right or trying to prove that you're wrong. A person with high functioning depression, their mind is their enemy. Their inner thoughts are so critical, so negative, so harsh, so just straight up mean, to be honest with you. And it feels terrible. And so they're constantly pushing themselves harder and harder and harder to try to prove the voice wrong. The annoying thing is you cannot shut that voice up by achievement alone. And so that's, again, why, going back to number one, why these people often have like above average success in certain domains, because they're constantly trying to fight this enemy that they cannot defeat through accomplishment. The goalposts just move endlessly. Oh, you got that promotion? Well, you still suck because you're not this. And it just keeps getting pushed further and further out. And that's why they keep achieving and they keep pushing themselves, because they're trying to fight back against an inner voice that nobody else hears or understands. The sixth sign that somebody has high functioning depression is that they never feel fully awake. This one is hard to articulate if you haven't felt it before. But most people, even if they have been struggling, with like stress or being really busy or burnout or insomnia, if they get a couple good nights of sleep in a row, good in terms of both quality and quantity, they wake up with this like refreshed, ready, capable feeling. And when you're dealing with depression, especially high functioning depression, you never really get that. There's always just sort of this fog over everything that you do. And you feel a little bit slow. You feel a little bit distracted. You feel a little bit forgetful. A lot of times these people end up thinking that they have ADHD, like inattentive type ADHD, which is what most people call ADD. And some of them do. But this high functioning depression can create a lot of symptoms that look a lot like mild ADHD. And it relates to psychomotor retardation, which is basically, it just means your brain and your body are working a little slower than normal, which is a symptom of depression. It's not always a symptom that fully disables or debilitates a person. You never feel 100%. Your self-care and your daily routines could be perfect, and you just don't ever feel like you're quite all the way here. And it's enough to just drive you nuts. The seventh symptom of high functioning depression is that hobbies feel like a waste of time. A person with high functioning depression, because they don't feel a lot of positive emotion from the things that they do, they tend to give up on their hobbies completely. Because essentially the only purpose of a hobby is to feel good, right? When you aren't really capable of feeling good, you have to, you either shut down, which would not be a person with high functioning depression, or you find another fuel source to drive you. And so if I can't feel good from anything, if I don't feel joy no matter what I do, I might as well do the joyless thing that makes me money rather than the joyless thing that makes me no money. Or the joyless thing that gets me in better shape rather than the joyless thing that doesn't get me in better shape. And so when people are struggling with high functioning depression, they tend to cut out all hobbies, all interests, sometimes even socializing, and they tend to just focus on doing things that create tangible benefit to them, something measurable or something that helps other people, because that's the only reason they can see to do anything, since there is no internal sense of reward for their actions. And the eighth sign of high functioning depression is that these people take big risks and they know it. That last part is critical, because engaging in risky behaviors or making big changes to your life, that can also be a symptom of a manic episode, which may be part of bipolar disorder. But when a person is engaging in risky behavior in a manic episode, they don't recognize it as risky at the time. They only have that insight later down the road. When somebody is taking risks and they're depressed, they know it. They know that this could really screw their lives up, and they just kind of don't care. The crazy thing is, a lot of times these risks pay off. This might be someone who's like an entrepreneur, like they leave their job to start their own business, and they know it's a big risk, but it ends up working, partially because of some of these other symptoms we've talked about. Their gambles pay off more often than not, but their life looks like a bunch of really questionable decisions. They almost look very lucky, and I don't think that's quite right. They feel like they have less to lose, because they don't feel particularly great anyway. And in fact, sometimes doing really risky things, making these big life changes, is such an emotional experience that it kind of breaks through that hard outer shell a little bit and makes them feel something for a little while. So sometimes they get almost addicted to risk-taking behaviors, again, whether that's career, financially, socially, whatever it may be. Like, they want to take that next big leap because it's the only thing that makes them feel alive sometimes. So I know I didn't offer any, strategies or interventions for dealing with this here. I don't know that there are any different treatment protocols as far as things like therapy or medication or things you can do at home for high functioning depression versus any other type of depression. I don't think it requires you to do anything different than you would if you felt any other type of depression. So this piece of content is more about awareness. The group of people I just described, most of the world would not regard them as depressed. They may not even regard themselves as depressed. So if this sounds like somebody you know, try to have a conversation with them about it. Don't expect them to open up to you right away. They're probably going to be very guarded about this, and it might take several attempts for you to get at it. But just showing that you care and showing that you see that they may not be doing as well as everyone else thinks they are probably means more to them than you realize. If this sounds like you, what I have just described, I want you to consider the possibility that you are experiencing a depression that looks a little bit different than what you thought it was going to look like. And if that's the case, consider accessing appropriate professional resources to see if they might help you.
Hello, everyone. This is Bishop Natasha Ellison from Come Alive Outreach, and you're listening to Bullet in Flight Radio, your story, our station, the best progressive Christian network in the world.
You're the rock that I'm building my life on. You are my everything.
You are the source of my life. You are the bread and the wine. You have filled all my my life.
You're the lily of the valley.
You're the fragrance in the temple.
You're the silence and the storm.
The lion and the
You have captured my heart, Lord.
You have cleansed me from sin.
Your mercy covers me every day.
Your love has made me whole.
are my soul.
You're the treasure that I found. You are wonderful to me.
Looking for a place where faith breaks boundaries? Welcome to BIFR, Bullet in Flight Radio, an inclusive, progressive community of Christ followers, sharing real stories and bold ideas. This is your radio for hope, growth, and daring faith. Your story, our station. Tune in for new episodes every Friday and join believers who refuse to stay small. Visit https://www.just-dominic.com to listen and become part of the flight.
Bullet in flight. Bullet in flight. Bullet in flight. Bullet in flight. Bullet in flight. Bullet in flight. Bullet in flight. Bullet in flight. Bullet